Wolves of Wind, Book 1, Feathers, Chapter 9, Sinking. Rain awoke in a small grassy flower-filled field. She coughed up water as she lifted her head. She looked around for Bird or the other mud-covered wolf, but neither of them were in sight, although she assumed that made sense since the mud-covered wolf had flown away. But where was Bird? "Bird?" she called, struggling to stand up. She was covered in small cuts and bruises, and her fur was heavy and waterlogged, but something about her felt peaceful. She saw a white wolf with bright blue eyes and pretty maroon wings. For the first time she realized that she was albino. Rain also realized that she was much younger, probably because the only times that Rain had seen her were during a bloody moment in her life that she didn't want to think about right now. The albino she-wolf looked like she was probably only apprentice age, and when she thought about it, the albino wolf that had interrupted the meeting had been an older apprentice too. The white wolf's long white fur flowed off her like feathers as she approached Rain. "It is not your time," she said, staring into Rain's eyes. "Of course it's not," Rain howled desperately. She didn't want to die. "You're not supposed to be awake now. Get her back to the normal world," the she-wolf said, walking away. Suddenly, another wolf dragged her by the spine into a deep pool of black water and threw her in. The water didn't feel like drowning. It almost felt like she was falling through a soggy beach. The sharp shards of water cut into her pelt and pulled her back down into reality. She suddenly awoke and saw Bird's face up close. Rain instinctively pushed her away and struggled to stand up, coughing up water. You kissed me," she whispered cautiously, backing away. "Well, it wasn't like that," Bird said, hiding her face. "I was saving your life." Rain relaxed her shoulders, and her tail fell back down to its normal position. But she still felt her pelt growing hot as she looked at Bird. "Sorry, I just wasn't expecting that, I guess. Thanks for saving my life." Rain had never been kissed before, and not by a girl for sure. Many wolves looked down on it because it meant that they weren't able to have pups and make the pack stronger with their genes. Of course, Rain had never really thought about it, but she thought that it seemed okay. She and Bird looked anywhere but at each other. Rain didn't know about Bird, but she definitely knew that her face was probably bright red. She knew that her wings were definitely red-tipped. If a sky pack wolf was embarrassed, then their wings would gain red tips from blood or veins or something. But she hoped that Bird's face was blushing just as much. "So, where are we?" Rain asked, to break the awkward dead silence. "I don't know. I think we're just under the pine forest. But we might have drifted a little while in the water. Anyways, thank you for saving me and trusting me," Bird said, turning back to Rain. "I would always trust you. You know that, right?" Rain asked, tilting her head. Bird perked her ears and snapped her head up. You know? You would?" "Of course. You're my best friend," Rain said, wagging her tail. "Anyways, we need to find the way back to the forest before we catch a chill. It's freezing here," Rain said, shaking her pelt dry of the heavy water. "I don't think the water could have carried us very far away. You could probably carry me up to the top, since I don't have wings, of course," Bird said, looking up the huge slope that led up into the forest. "I don't know if I'm strong enough. We should probably go around and look for a passage up. I don't want any more blood on my paws." "Any more? What, you killed someone?" Bird asked, tilting her head. "We can talk about it more when we aren't in danger," Rain said, shaking her head. "Well, now I'm curious," Bird protested as she caught up to Rain. "Well, you're going to be curious for a while, because I'm not answering until we get back up this cliff," Rain said, walking towards the steep, thin path that led upwards. You do realize that I will keep nagging you until you tell me, right?" Bird asked as she caught up. "Whoa, I can't climb up that," she said, shaking on her paws as she noticed the passageway. "Don't worry, you can stay in front of me, so if you fall, I can catch you." "I still don't think it's a very good idea," Bird said, looking around for another area to cross. "Aha!" she said, looking across the water. "We can leap on that dead log and swim the rest of the way." I don't know how to swim," Rain whispered. Now it was Rain's turn to tremble at the sight of the water, and she realized that this was pretty much what she had just asked Bird to do with the slope. And Bird noticed that too. "Well, you wanted me to go up there, and I want you to go across the water, so that leaves only one option." We'll climb up the slope? Rain asked hopefully. No, we'll split up and go different ways.